I'm Jen Orr, married to Jonathan Orr, and I have 2 boys, Jacob and Joshua. Jonathan and I were married November 1st, 2003. I'm a Colorado native. I grew up 10 miles from here. We've been at South Fellowship 9 years probably, and have just loved it here and really feel like it's our family. In August, I started coughing, and everybody kind of had the cough, and it was just a cough that lingered for quite some time, and mine just never went away. But then in late February, I started coughing up just very small amounts of blood, and so my doctor asked me to go into urgent care. Then they did a chest x-ray, and the chest x-ray showed quite a bit. I was diagnosed with adenocarcinoma, or lung cancer, and it had originated in my right lung, but by the time we caught it, it had spread to my lymph node in my chest and then spread to my left lung as well. After all these tests and MRIs and PET scans and biopsies, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. The first week or 2, I was terrified. I couldn't sleep very well. It was hard. I was so scared, and I felt like I was in a dark room, visualizing myself in this dark room, reaching out my hands and just asking him to meet me there. The most terrifying part was not fear for my own life, but fear for my family. And for my boys, for my husband. But fairly quickly, I mean, within 1 or 2 weeks of the initial diagnosis, I just felt a peace just cover me. I knew I should be afraid. My nature is kind of fear and anxiety, and yet I just felt peace that none of this surprised him, that he knew that this was my path. He knew that I would be diagnosed with cancer. He knows whether I'll live or die. He knows every detail of my boys' lives, of my husband's life, of my life. He knows every detail. I think as a mom, I've really struggled with letting go of them. I want their lives to look the way I want it to look. I want to have control over their lives and protect them. And I had to come face to face with the fact that I may not have that privilege. I had to relinquish control of them, of their lives, of their futures, of my husband, of his life. Isaiah 43, 1 and 2, it says, "But now this is what the Lord says, He who created you, Jacob, He who formed you, Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name, you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burnt, the flames will not set you ablaze." I felt like that this is a privilege, which is so strange, but such a privilege to be brought to death's door, basically, and to be allowed to feel and experience the grace of God in such a powerful way. It feels like a privilege. When you're diagnosed with cancer, people talk about the fight, and I didn't really know what that meant. What does it look like to fight? Especially when you are trying so hard to surrender. But then I just kept thinking of this word fight, and what does it look like to absolutely surrender, but to fight? And I thought, the answer is hope. That, there's what the doctors say, and there's the statistics, and then there's God, and God is bigger. So I started thinking, okay, so absolute surrender, but you gotta have hope. You've gotta have abundant hope. And so kind of became my mantra. Absolute surrender, abundant hope. I feel like the image in my mind of being in a dark room and reaching out my hands has changed. I feel like I was reaching out my hand trying to find Jesus, but lately the image has shifted and I'm still in the dark room, but I don't have my arms reaching out anymore because he's standing right behind me with his hands on my shoulders. James 1, 2, and 3 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." I've really tried hard not to let myself feel sorry for myself, but really focus on what a blessing it is to experience that peace. That I've never felt that before, when you should be just terrified and you feel peace.